You may have seen in the paper a few months back that Iowans ranked lowest in the nation in terms of their ability to figure out where countries were on the atlas. And Iowans were not very happy about that. As a matter of fact, we ranked dead last at one point. Things have changed. I'm happy to tell you that we are now, I believe, at last report yesterday, I looked, we're up to 5th in the nation, and we're going to see if we can't bump that up a little bit today. Today we're talking with Roger Andresen. He runs the website where this all occurs, and Roger is with Geography Zone. Roger, welcome.
Thanks, Stephen. And I just wanted you to know you're at 4th now.
Oh, we went up to 4th since yesterday. That's great. See, I think we can get to number 1 in the next 24 hours. Roger, explain this great website. You've had over 1 million visitors. Tell us about it.
Back in 2001, I decided to dedicate myself to trying to help spread geographical awareness throughout the United States, because I had read a study that was done by National Geographic about exactly how poor Americans are at geography in general. And I was kind of shocked by that, and so I decided to go out and do something about it. And what I started by doing is making several products, that educational tools. But they were selling good. Like one, I started with a global puzzle, which is a puzzle of a world that has pieces shaped like countries. And they were selling fine, but I realized I wasn't reaching the general population. I was reaching those people that are just interested in geography. So what I decided to do was try and figure out a way to get people who had no interest in geography at all excited about the subject. So I created this site called the Geography Zone, and basically what it's become the largest online geography competition of all time. We now have almost 1.3 million participants, and we've got representatives from every single country in the world.
Yeah, it's amazing. Even in tiny little countries, they've gone on the internet to try out your little geography test. Yeah, and it's the friendly competition that really incites people to start to learn about geography and get them going, and realize, as soon as you play, you realize. So you have the nations, and the nation rankings are there, and the United States does not do particularly well. It's around 50th in terms of the ability to recognize geography. And then you have a different ranking for the states, and that's where at one point months ago, Iowa was ranked at the absolute bottom.
Yeah.
And for those of us in Iowa, that's a shock, because we usually score so well on ACTs and SATs and have such a high graduation rate. We assume that Iowa does really well. What's changed in the past few months? Did you just have more Iowa visitors? Was that it?
Well, actually, it was an article written by Mary Challenger, one of your esteemed reporters there in Iowa, in the Des Moines Register, wrote an article, and it really got people excited. You know, I tell you what, the truth about the rankings, it's not really how good a country is, it's how many people in the country become inspired to excel. I mean, in the state, become inspired to excel, because basically it's not all the Iowans, every single Iowan there competing. It's just people just go there and say, okay, I want to bring up the country. It's like the Olympics.
Right.
You have someone that says, I want to get good, I want to bring up the country, and there's thousands of Iowans that decided to challenge themselves to get great at geography.
Yeah, there's one problem, Roger. I went to the site. I brought our average down.
How'd you do?
I only scored 40%.
You know, that's not bad.
Yes, it is. It's terrible.
When someone's starting off, the average is about 2 out of 10. You're doing great.
You're just saying that because I have you on my show. And the average, when you've got a score, for instance, the United States score is 75.79. Does that mean around 75% of the answers are correct?
Yep, 75%.
Okay.
But, you know, once again, it's just people get inspired, and that's what the whole point of the Geography Zone is, to get people inspired about learning geography, because geography, I feel, is a very important subject that gets overlooked so often.
But one of the things that you've got, Roger, is that for those of us that are geographically challenged, you have puzzles and card games to help us out. Tell us about those. Okay.
Well, as I mentioned earlier, it all started with my concept of the global puzzle. When I read that, I had this idea in my head to create this thing called the global puzzle, which is a puzzle of the world with pieces that are actually shaped like countries. So in order to complete a simple concept, you got to figure out where every single country is. And I actually, when I read that study in 2001, I was inspired to I quit my job. I was a telecommunications engineer at the time, and I just said, all right, put that behind me. I'm gonna focus on teaching geography, and that's what I did. And I started with the global puzzle, and that has expanded to 6 different puzzles. Now, global puzzle, it's a 600-piece puzzle, but so it's great for like a big family event. It takes a long time to do. It's a challenging puzzle. So I expanded that to a line of continent puzzles where it's the same concept, but it's a framed puzzle, and it's just one continent at a time. So, but you still have the pieces shaped like countries. So this is better for a purely educational setting, like a classroom.
And then you came up with a card game, too.
Yes. And then the WorldWise Card Games, and which is basically similar to the game Uno, except rather than matching up a 3 on a 4, you match up Algeria on Mali.
Right.
It's all about matching borders.
So a country comes up in this card game, and you have to try to figure out which bordering country there is to the country that you got.
Exactly.
Okay, so for example, let me just pull a card out here. Bangladesh. Bangladesh is dealt to me, and I have to try to figure out what country would be surrounding Bangladesh. And then in the play, it's very similar to Uno. You can put a card down when you think it's near that bordering country. But the nice little spin on this is that you can also bluff. Explain that part of it.
You can bluff if, 1, you don't have the cards, or 2, you don't know yourself.
Which 90% of the time I don't know the country.
Yeah, exactly.
But you can put it down bluffing and hoping that nobody calls you on it.
Exactly. And Bangladesh is, I think maybe just 2 countries, India and Myanmar,
correct,
or some people say Burma, are the only 2 that actually border that country. So it's going to be tough that you actually have that card. So if someone else knows, there's a good chance they're going to catch you. But
explain to people how bodies of water play a part in this card game.
Well, just the same way as a country borders another country, we wanted to include it, trying to educate people about different bodies of water. So it's the same exact concept.
Okay.
Just wanted to include a little more education in there.
All right, so our callers that are playing, we might throw some bodies of water in here as well. And again, we're going to alternate callers. The first caller, we're going to give them the country. They have to figure out a bordering country. And the second caller, I get to figure out a bordering country, and you're going to guess if I'm bluffing or telling the truth. And that's the way the game is played. You get a chance to bluff as well. So let's go to our phone lines. And Carl is up first.
Good morning.
Okay, we are going to give you the country of Lithuania. Can you name a bordering country to Lithuania, Carl?
How about Paraguay?
No, that is wrong. Thanks for trying. And Nina, you're going to get a chance at Lithuania as well. Are you there, Nina?
Yes.
What's a bordering country to Lithuania?
Peru?
Peru? No. We're not even on the right continent.
Yeah. We're a long way away.
Okay, I can see why Iowa was at the bottom of the ranking at one point. Let's give you a clue. It's in Europe. Adam, you're up next. Lithuania. Can you name a bordering country to Lithuania, Adam?
Uruguay.
No.
Yeah, let's get out of South
Didn't
America,
I just say it was in Europe? Roger, I'm sorry. I'm embarrassed by that, but those people do not represent us, really. Dennis is up next. Dennis, Lithuania. Come on.
Latvia?
Yes,
Hey,
you did it.
right.
Good job. The countries that border Lithuania are Latvia, Belarus, Poland, and Kaliningrad, whatever that is. I've never even heard of it, and the Baltic Sea. So, Dennis, you hold on, and you're going to get one of these games, okay?
Okay, thanks.
Roger, that was 25% there. 1 out of 4 got it correct. So that didn't represent us very well, did it?
Well, it's 1 out of 4 is not bad, but the responses from the other 3, I don't know. If maybe they had been like, Ukraine or something.
This time, I get to answer, and you get to guess whether I'm bluffing or not. And, David, you get that chance. You ready, David?
Ready.
Okay, David, a body of water that borders Sweden. I am going to guess that a body of water that borders Sweden is the Bay of Biscay. Do you think I'm bluffing or telling the truth?
You're bluffing.
Well, you're right, I am bluffing. Do you know what a...
North Sea.
North Sea, right? There's also the Baltic Sea and the Gulf of Bothnia.
Well done.
Well, I really couldn't believe those clowns that were trying to cut the first one.
David, just be happy you won, okay? David, you're on hold, and you're going to win one of the games as well. Eric is up next.
How's it going?
And I'm going to give you a country, Eric, and you have to name a bordering country. The country is San Marino.
That's a country?
That's what I said when I first saw the card. I'd never heard of it before.
San Marino?
San Marino.
Wow. You sure that's not an island?
Nope. And islands, by the way, are included in this game, but this is not an island.
I'm going to have to guess Italy.
Oh.
How in the world did you guess that?
There's a bunch of countries around there that I don't know about.
San Marino's actually in the middle of Italy, isn't it, Roger?
Yeah, it's totally encapsulated by Italy.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's an island in terms of it's totally surrounded by land as opposed to water. It's totally surrounded by Italy. So, Eric, believe it or not, your guess got it right.
Thank you.
This is your day. I'd never. And Roger, why is this? I've never heard of some of these countries.
Well, actually, Italy's got two of those. I don't know if you know, but the Vatican City is also a country inside of Italy, and that's the smallest country in the world. And really, it's just the head of the Roman Catholic Church. But
right.
It has it follows all the rules to make it a totally independent country as well. So
let's go to our Africa cards. How about that?
Right.
Africa is always a little bit harder.
Yeah, you didn't have to use the European country.
Yeah. Bernie is up next. Hi, Bernie.
Hi. You did go to a tougher one, too. There's so many new countries there every year, it seems like.
The African ones are really, really tough.
Yeah.
So let's try, let me give you one that isn't too hard. How about, this will be one that I'm going to guess, because this is my turn to guess, okay? Right. Chad. The country of Chad, I will say that Egypt borders Chad. You think I'm telling the truth or bluffing?
Boy, that's close. I'll say he is correct.
Nope. Egypt does not border Chad.
Darn.
It's Libya, Sudan, Nigeria, and a couple of others.
But you missed it by about 400 miles.
Yeah. Okay. It's very close, but it's not a border. Dan is up next. Hi, Dan.
Good morning, Steve.
Here is your card from Africa.
Yeah, my worst country. Continent.
I know, isn't it hard? That's a tough one. They've got all sorts of them. How about Barundi? Burundi. What country borders Barundi?
Good land. There's a country I haven't even heard of.
That's what's the tricky part about this. What borders Burundi? Give you a couple seconds. No looking it up, by the way.
Oh, I don't know. Shall we? Let's go to Zambia.
No. But there are some countries with Ias at the end of them that border Burundi. So good guess, Dan. Let's try Jim.
Morning.
Any idea what borders Burundi?
Actually, no. How about Zimbabwe?
No. You're getting close. Thanks for trying, Jim. Mary Kay is up next with us. Hi, Mary Kay.
Hello.
What borders Burundi?
Well, I think there are a couple of them, Rwanda and Tanzania.
Oh, nice.
You are too smart for your own good, Mary Kay.
I know.
You don't have one of those world atlases out in front of you, do you?
No. I used to live in Eritrea, northern Ethiopia.
Well, you did a fantastic job. And Mary Kay, most of us in America think Africa is probably the most difficult in terms of figuring out where countries are. Would you say that from being over there?
Well, yeah, because the countries are changing in that, and there are so many of them. I guess so, especially along the southwestern side, the South Atlantic Ocean. So,
yeah.
So what brought you to that side of the world?
Oh, I was teaching.
Oh, yeah?
What did you teach?
My favorite place was living there in northern Ethiopia at that time.
What did you teach?
I was teaching on military bases.
Wow.
Uh-huh.
Well, congratulations. You're going to really enjoy one of these card games,
Oh, I
Mary
know
Kay.
I will, because I love geography. I used to teach it.
Great. Thanks, Mary Kay. You hold on. And Roger, what do you think are the toughest regions? Where are the toughest places? Where do people tend to have the most problems when they try to figure out what bordering countries are? Where do they have the most trouble?
There's three different regions that are very difficult for people, and one is Africa. We went through that, you see. But then also, in the past 20 years, with the breakup of the USSR, there was 15 new countries formed there, which are pretty obscure to most people, and also the breakup of Yugoslavia. That formed 5 new countries in that area.
Yeah.
So those two, Europe and Africa. But then the worst of all is the islands of the Oceania, which is basically all the island countries out in the Pacific.
Yes, and you include a lot of little islands in this geography stuff that you've got. I had never even heard of some of these. Yeah. So it's fascinating. Plus, we should mention that you also include a great big map with each of the card games for each of the continent areas, so people are able to see it on the great big map as well.
A little cheat sheet.
Back to the phone lines, and Paula's up next. Hi, Paula.
Hello.
It's my turn to guess, and you have to see if you think I'm bluffing or not, okay?
Okay.
Mali is the name of the country. Mali.
Mali.
And I will guess that one of the bordering countries to Mali is Burkina Faso.
Oh, no, this is Africa, isn't it?
Is Burkina Faso a border country to Mali?
I'm going to guess that you're telling the truth.
Yes, I am. Just for you. Isn't that nice?
Yes.
You win a copy of the card game. Congratulations, Paula.
Thank you.
And right now, Robert's up next.
Hello, how you doing?
Here is the country. It's Bhutan, Bhutan. You need to name a bordering country around Bhutan.
China.
Correct. Bhutan is right between China and India.
Right.
Good job, Robert. You get one of those card games. He seemed very confident, didn't he, Roger?
Yeah. You think maybe he had an atlas there with him?
I think we're getting too many geography teachers probably calling in.
Interesting news. Since the start of this little segment here, we've had 100 participants from Iowa, and you've dropped down to 11th.
What did you just say?
I'm sorry to break it to you. But
you mean during the last 45 minutes of us being on the air?
Yeah.
The people who came on actually brought the average down?
Yeah, but let me tell you, that's what happens when you bring a new group of people. These people are going to get inspired, and they're going to start playing every day, and they're going to become experts. And
listeners, what are you doing here? We're supposed to be bringing the average up. We're down to 11th? No, we're going the wrong direction. I do not want the press to get a hold of this, that the listeners actually brought the average down. Thanks for sharing that, Roger. We appreciate that. But you're saying essentially it's typical for a first-time participant to get like 20%, 30% right.
Yeah.
And then gradually over time they bring it up.
Don't give up.
Yeah, keep chipping away at it. We need to bring that average back up.
That was a big jump, though.
You seem to be enjoying it. Betsy is up next. Hi, Betsy.
Hello.
This is my turn to guess, and you have to see if you think I'm bluffing or not.
Okay.
Brunei. The body of water that borders Brunei is the Persian Gulf.
I think you're correct.
I am wrong.
Oh.
The body of water that borders Brunei is the South China Sea.
All right.
Thanks for trying, Betsy. Jocelyn, you're with us now. Hi, Jocelyn.
Hi.
Here's your country, Malaysia. Can you name a bordering country to Malaysia?
Malaysia.
3 seconds. What borders Malaysia?
I really don't know.
Okay, thanks for trying. Let's give Bridget a chance. Bridget, what do you think borders Malaysia?
Borneo.
Borneo? That's not on my card. Nope. Thanks for trying, Bridget.
But for the record,
yes,
Borneo is the island, the name of the island that contains part of Malaysia and part of the bordering country that we're looking for.
So Borneo is the name of the island, but is not the name of a country.
Correct.
All right, so she technically got it wrong.
Yes.
All right. Thank you, Alex Trebek. Sean, you're going to get a chance here at Malaysia. You think you know what it is?
I'm sorry, what country?
Malaysia.
Malaysia. Oh, boy, I'll take a guess here.
There's only 2 countries that border Malaysia.
I'll try South Korea.
Nope, you're in the right region, but thanks for trying. Jeanette, you get a chance at Malaysia.
Oh, boy, I don't know. China?
Nope, thanks for trying. Trent. Trent is 12 years old. Is that right, Trent?
Yeah.
See if you can beat all these adults, okay?
Thailand?
Trent, you did it. Congratulations. Good job. You're pretty smart.
Thanks.
And you're going to get one of those games, and you'll have a lot of fun with that game. As we continue to talk with Roger Andresen, started the show at 4th in the nation. We're down to 11th in the nation, so that's not a good sign. But we are having a lot of people get to the website, and we're going to go back to the phone lines because we've got games to give away, and we want to give them away this morning. And Elizabeth is up next. Hi, Elizabeth.
Hello?
Okay, Elizabeth, I'm going to give you a country, and you have to tell me what you think the bordering country is, okay?
All right, I'll try.
This isn't too hard. Ecuador.
Oh.
What borders Ecuador?
Brazil?
No. Thanks for trying. Landon, you're next. Landon, what borders Ecuador?
Oh, boy. How about Bolivia?
No, thanks for trying. You guys are in the right, at least in the right continent.
Yeah, it's getting a lot better since the first question.
Jim, do you know what borders Ecuador? Jim, can you give it a try?
Let's try Peru.
Peru is correct. Good job, Jim, and you get one of those games from, it's called WorldWise, is the trademark name of the game. It's a geography card game, and Jim's going to get one of those. So now the next time...
one of those tracks of people clapping whenever someone gets
Yeah, that's right. Now this time we're rotating back and forth between the callers guessing and me guessing, so Ron gets a chance to hear my guess. Hi, Ron.
Hi.
Okay, Ron, the body of water that is bordering Honduras, I am going to guess it's the Gulf of Fonseca.
Okay.
Do you think I'm telling the truth or bluffing?
Now, can you say that one more time? The Gulf of what?
Gulf of, I'm guessing the pronunciation, Fonseca, F-O-N-S-E-C-A. Does that border Honduras?
No.
I told the truth, Ron.
Oh.
I tried to give you a game, but you didn't believe me.
Okay, yes.
Thanks for trying. Frank is up next. Hi, Frank.
Hello.
Okay, Frank, we're going to give you another one from that area. How about Venezuela? What borders Venezuela?
Bolivia.
No. Thanks for trying. Let's give Aaron a chance at Venezuela. Hi, Aaron.
Hi.
What borders Venezuela?
Oh, boy. Let's go Colombia.
Correct. Good job. Colombia, Guyana, and Brazil are the bordering countries for Venezuela. You hold on, Aaron, and we're going to get you one of those games. And Carol, you are the one who gets me. So okay. I get to guess, and I bet you're just thrilled about that. French Guiana. French Guiana, I will say a country that borders French Guiana is Guyana.
I'll agree with you.
Nope, I didn't tell the truth this time. French Guiana is bordered by Brazil or Suriname.
Oh, okay.
Thanks for trying. You know what's interesting, Roger, on these is that the bluffing part actually ends up being the most confusing part of the game.
Yeah. French Guiana, by the way, is actually not a country.
What is it?
It's still part of France.
Oh.
But it's included as part of the question, of course. We're still allowed to learn where it is.
Right. Jim is up next. Hi, Jim.
Good morning.
We still got some games to give away. Let's try Nicaragua. What country borders Nicaragua?
El Salvador.
No. Thanks for trying. Let's give Julie a chance at Nicaragua. Hi, Julie.
Hi.
What do you think borders Nicaragua?
Panama.
No. Ron, you're up next on Michelson in the Morning. Hi, Ron.
Yes, Honduras.
Honduras is on the north border. Costa Rica is on the south border of Nicaragua. Congratulations, Ron.
Thank you.
Did you do that without having a map in front of you?
Yes, I did. We lived for a short time down in Belize.
Oh, so you're familiar with that part of the world then, at least.
Yes.
What were you doing down there?
We were working with a mission organization.
Fantastic. Well, congratulations. You're going to really enjoy this geography game then.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Ron. Roger, what are some of the common mistakes you see people making when they're answering the geography questions?
You know, as we saw in this last round, people were real close. You know, at the first round, people were just way off. But people do that a lot, where they're in the general area, like at the geography zone. You don't have names, so you just know the general area, and
right.
People just don't know exactly where it is.
Right. For me, it's just not even knowing the countries, and I'm sure we had to learn these. And some people might sit there and say, "Why do we need to know all these countries?" And that would be a legitimate question because we don't even know some of the states. You try to ask people to identify states on a map, and they don't even know it. Is there a states version of this, or do you just stick with countries?
We stick with countries, but as to your question as to why people need to know this, there's plenty of reasons why people should know geography. And geography has a stigma of just being a boring subject. But the truth is, knowing your geography, other than, it helps with hundreds and thousands of different careers. It just helps towards the health of a nation. But what's more important, why geography is actually exciting, is, like, take that woman who called from Eritrea earlier. If someone actually gets a chance to go out there, it's so beautiful. Down there, you go down through Ethiopia, down to Kenya, and then you have Lake Victoria there. You have Mount Kilimanjaro, Victoria Falls right by there, one of the tallest falls in the world. And it's just knowing your geography, you know what's out there, and you know how much there is to explore in the
right.
world, and you just really can broaden your horizon.
It just gets you more interested in it.
Yeah.
That's a great point. Richard is up next, and Richard, you get one of my questions, okay?
All right.
Liechtenstein. Liechtenstein you've heard of. I will guess that a bordering country to Liechtenstein is Germany.
That's right.
That's wrong. Austria and Switzerland. Let's give one more game away. Greg, you're going to get a chance here. Belarus. Greg, you know what's next to Belarus? B-E-L-A-R-U-S. What's a bordering country to Belarus?
Belarus?
B-E-L-A-R-U-S. Real quickly.
Latvia.
You're right. You got it. Good job, Greg. Roger, thanks for being with us.